In Exodus 16, the Israelites are in the wilderness with Moses and with God and with Aaron. And on the 15th day of the second month after they had come out of Egypt in the desert, the whole community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted, but you have brought us out into this desert to starve this entire assembly to death." The Lord said to Moses, "I will rain down bread from heaven for you. The people are to go out each day and gather enough for that day. In this way, I will test them and see whether they will follow my instructions. On the sixth day, they are to prepare what they bring in, and that is to be twice as much as they gather on the other days." And so the Lord heard the Israelites grumbling, and he said to them, "At twilight you will eat meat, and in the morning you will be filled with bread. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God." And so the Israelites ate manna for 40 years until they came to a land that was settled. They ate manna until they reached the border of Canaan. And so in Exodus 16, that was bits and pieces of it, but it only took 2 months for the Israelites to be out of Egypt, and they were grumbling and they were complaining that they didn't have the same comfort of the food and drinks that they had in Egypt. But yet in Egypt, they were also enslaved and they didn't know what rest was. And so it's in this passage that God is teaching the Israelites how to rely on him, that he is the provider, that he can provide them with enough manna, enough bread, enough meat for every single day, that he can encourage them to rest. And he declares that they should rest on the sixth day, that he tells them to gather just enough manna for each day, nothing more and nothing less. And in fact, if they gathered more and they tried to save more, it actually ended up rotting. And so he visibly was tangibly teaching them, "I will give you just enough for today and wait for the next day to receive just the right amount." And it was only on the sixth day that they gathered the double portion, because the Lord wanted them to rest on the seventh day, which was the Sabbath. And he was teaching them these rhythms of reliance, of relying every single day on him, and to rest on the seventh, because they are not the ones that keep the world spinning, that they only knew slavery, they only knew constant work, they only knew no rest at all. But the Lord was teaching them, "I am the one that provides. I am the one that calls you to rest, that you can rest on this seventh day, because I am the one that keeps the world spinning. I am the Lord, your God." And so, what would it truly look like if we actually fully submitted to God? That if we looked to him to be our true provider for every single day, whether that's the provider through the word of sustaining us through that daily bread, of knowing him, of just enough to get through the day, or even on the practical sense of just enough finances to make it through the day. What would it look like if we relied on him in those ways? And what would it look like if we actually took the Sabbath, that we took a day of rest, even if it can't be 24 hours? It can just be some hours, half of a day, to give and submit to the Lord, that you are not the one that keeps the world spinning, that he is the Lord, your God. So what would it look like if we depend upon him?